Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well in the midst of COVID and the pandemic, and I hope everyone has been staying safe. As many of you know, if you've been following my channel, I own a property management company in the Washington, D.C. area in Virginia, in the suburbs of D.C. And I've taken a little break on making videos recently because as all of this pandemic started, we had to really shift gears and focus a lot on our business because we were really concerned on how it was going to impact property management and rentals and our landlords, and we had to do what we needed to do to take care of all of our owners. We had to rework some of our policies, create new documents and addenda and things like that for our business, and on top of it, all of our staff, all of us were working from home. So that was a new change for us too. So taking a little break, but we're back, and I wanted to share with you a few things that we've seen and we've learned through the last several months of this pandemic, and things that I wanted to share with you so that if you start to see these in the coming months, that you will hopefully be able to take some action and it can help you too. So stay tuned. So I wanted to just share with you a few things that we've learned as we've navigated through this pandemic, and some of the things that we've seen landlords doing that we think maybe weren't so great. And I wanted to just share a few of these things with you so that if you haven't encountered this yet, you may encounter it in the future with your tenant or with your rental property, and this may help some of you. So here are a few things I wanted to share. So first of all, as we all know, many people have lost jobs as a result of COVID. And in our market, we've been very, very fortunate in the Washington metro area that we haven't seen too much of this. And just a handful of tenants, honestly, in our portfolio have not been able to pay. But one of the things you want to do, and make sure you do, if your tenant does come to you and says, you know what, I've been impacted and now I've been impacted, you want to have some kind of a policy that you create now in advance, and you put something in writing to make sure that they are being honest with you. Because what happened for us is when this first happened, we reached out to all of our tenants and said, hey, look, you know, this is happening. We care about you. The owners care. And if you're going to be impacted, let us know ahead of time. Well, there's always a few who will raise their hand and they kind of played the COVID card and said, oh, because of COVID, I want my rent decreased. Well, we're happy to help, but we put something in place to say, you know what, you fill this out, let us know what you're asking for, give us some documentation that your that your income has gone down, and provide us with a letter from either your HR person or your manager showing and stating that yes, you have been impacted. And then we can take it to the owner and figure out a solution. So likewise, if you're a landlord out there and your tenant comes to you, ask for some documentation. Don't just take their word for it, and have a plan in place that you can then implement with them. The second thing I would share with you is that you want to have a payment plan and think through some ideas instead of just cutting rent. We talked to several other landlords that we know, not people we manage for, but people who were like, yeah, you know what, I just wanted to help my tenant and I just cut the rent in half for a few months. Well, that was nice and it certainly helped the tenant, but the reality is that if you had worked out a plan, they probably would have been willing to pay something and over time. So what we did with a few of the tenants that we have is we did a payment plan where we just said, look, you know, you pay this much, and we spread out the rest over a certain period of time, or we gave them a little bit of a reprieve, and whatever it was, we tailored it to their situation, and we've increased it. And we've had some amazing tenants. We've had people who have been in the food industry who really weren't getting paychecks, and they really wanted to work to pay the rent. So the other thing I've heard that's sort of a different kind of strategy, and you could use this, but just, again, have a plan, is to take the security deposit and use that to subsidize the rent. So if your tenant is short $500, maybe you can use the security deposit to pay, you know, a portion of that for the next several months, and then as they start to repay the rent, start refunding, you know, replenishing the security deposit account. So again, you have to have all of this disclosed because you can't just use the security deposit randomly. You have to disclose all of it, have a plan, know exactly what you're going to do. But there are ways to sort of be creative as long as everybody's on board and everybody's in agreement. The other thing that changed significantly are the showings. And I'm sure if you have a tenant or somebody that was leaving, you had some of these challenges yourself. In the beginning of all of this, people definitely didn't want to go anywhere. They weren't supposed to go anywhere. How are they going to see houses? And that was really, really concerning to us. But what we found through all of this is, honestly, human nature. People are really kind and very helpful when they need to be. And we had a lot of tenants who did videos for us, offered to do a lot of things, because obviously they didn't want people coming in their house either. So they were extremely helpful. So if you've got a tenant in place and you're being very cautious, or they don't want people coming in, have them do a video for you, have them take pictures, have them do everything they can do so that you can market it the best you can online. And we've done that. One negative to that is that we've had some people who have rented property sight unseen because they just didn't want to go. And then like we know, people who sometimes when they go in and it looks this way online and then they get there, they may be disappointed. I mean, we have great properties, but you know what? It never looks the same online as it does when you get there. So we had a couple of issues around that. So be careful with that. But for the most part, it's all worked out quite well. So I guess, as far as, and we're still in the middle of this pandemic, but I guess I have to say that I try to always look at the positive of things. And I can say, as I've said before, that so many of our tenants have been so cooperative and helpful and have just tried to work with us the best they can. Many of the owners too have been very, very gracious in, offering discounts. Definitely most of them have not increased the rent rates as these properties have turned over. They're just happy to keep their tenants in place and wanted to just keep their rents the same. This has been a busy year, and honestly the rental market has been very, very strong and active, so they could have raised the rents, but they just kind of kept them as is. So in another year, I think we'll be able to see some increases again, but it's just been kind of refreshing to see how nice and kind and people taking care of each other. So hopefully that will last as we continue to work through this. So I hope some of these tips have been helpful for you. My name is Sue Richey, and I will see you in the next video.